Well, that was interesting. So a friend of mine called me and said, do you want this old 35 kilowatt natural gas generator? Because we're getting a new one, because this one's got something wrong with it. I was like, all right, well, you're going to have to come and get it, though. All right. So, you know, we spent 3 days building this little trailer, doing some you know, nice little booger welds there. I even welded the unistrut onto the front. Whatever. I mean, it held up good. Just bolted the axle straight to it because we didn't have time to do it better. And, you know, the back's about the same. Yeah, it's alright. Anyways, I got a free Kohler 35 kilowatt generator now. That was kind of nice. And with a rainproof enclosure. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's got a Chevy 4.3 motor in it, Vortec. Like one of them newer Digital ones. The interesting part I found about this, though, is well, besides it's got an electronic throttle, that might complicate things. But, well, we'll see. So I got word from a couple of folks that I can convert this to propane, too. Because I do have natural gas at the house, but it's hard to hook up, and if I want to drag this somewhere other than the house or to a different house that doesn't have natural gas, I want to have the option to put propane in it instead, or maybe I'll make a bigger block to put underneath that bottom of the carb down there. It's a 2-barrel, and I'll put a pair of fuel injectors in that, and put a Megasquirt or a Speeduino or whatever is in there. I got to hook this thing up to a block heater to keep her warmed up and whatnot. I mean, it's in good shape. It's been real well maintained. I used to work for the place that owned it. Actually, I presided over the installation of the brand new fan shroud and that cage there, and a whole bunch, pretty much everything on the front of the engine and a radiator, and all the hoses on 4/4/14 when the water pump exploded and blew pretty much everything up on there. All right, to the other side. It's got dual fuel solenoids. I guess those are shut off. I think it's only got like 560 some hours on it. Yeah, it's got donuts on there, but they're 1,575 pound limit, so they'll take more than that. This is only 2,000 pounds or so. There's the other side. That electronic throttle. It's got a controller for it in there. And fancy stuff in here. Yeah, Vortec V6. The 4.3 Chevy. Looks just like the ones they put in the cars and the trucks. Maybe the cars too, I don't know. Except this one's like super expensive Kohler tan. You know, you paint it tan, and it's worth like 10 times as much now. Or actually sometimes 20 or better. So there's a problem with this, the generator head, or what they call the alternator. And I see they've got all the wires off it, so something's up with it. That little LED board's off the end of it. It's got all the parts. I don't know if it's the controller, if it's the alternator, if it's the voltage regulator, or what. I've got all the wiring diagrams for it here. I'm going to start going through it right quick. Oh, here's the interesting part. They use an 8-pin GM HEI ignition module on that distributor, but they didn't use the second connector. You know, it's car stuff on everything, except that second connector is not plugged in, so the computer doesn't control the timing. It's fixed ignition timing. I wonder if I could make it run a little better. Maybe put a Megasquirt or something on there and set her up just to run the ignition timing to make it a little more efficient at low load. I don't know. May do it, may not. I'm not sure what this is. That might be an oil pressure sender. Or oil pressure switch or something. Oh no, it's too far back to be oil pressure. I don't know what that is. That might be a speed sensor too. Oh, there's the oil pressure one right there. So this, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's on the diagram. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, I think it's kind of cool. I got a generator. So the next thing I've got to do is open up this end panel here and see about getting her, taking a look at some of these windings and stuff in the alternator, see if I can't get her to make a little bit of juice. Of course, I want to convert it to propane first so I can get it to run, and then make some juice. That'll be good. Yeah, with this trailer and all, the guys with the crane and the guys for the generator place kind of looked at me funny, but I mean, it's half-inch steel, ain't like it's little. And those are some real nice boogers on there too, ain't they? It's got a little rust on it, but that's all right for sitting out. It's a 2006 model year. Or, I don't know if they have model years of generators, but it was made in 2006 anyway, early 2006. That's good. I like that. So there she is. No, I didn't pull it with that. I pulled it with the other truck, which actually pulled pretty good, surprisingly. It was, the manual says these are 1,500 pounds, but that doesn't take into account the little shelter thing and everything else. So, the crane guy says he weighed it and it was 2,200. I was like, uh-oh, well, all right, we'll see how well my trailer holds up. And it did. Actually not. I mean, I can pick, we did the weight balance just perfectly, so I can pick up the front end of this thing. It's probably got 150 pounds of tongue weight on it. And we had a chain with a homemade binder on it, plus we used a come along, just, that's not going to hold anything, but I don't know, just as an absolute emergency measure, you know, keeps us from dying or something. Then we used that ratchet strap to hold the back of it. So, I mean, it didn't go any damn where while it was rolling down the road. And this thing was bouncing but good because I didn't have time to put a real axle on this thing. We just put 2 U-bolts on either side, holding the axle straight onto the frame, and she held good. A little short on penetration with them welds on that half-inch steel, but it stuck. Yeah. I mean, shoot. I'm probably going to put a drop axle on this thing, put some air ride on her, and I'll just keep this as the regular trailer for the generator. Just belongs on there. Alright, well, that's enough of that. Just figured I'd show off my cool new thing. I shall see you'uns later.